Race 1 at Randwick on Saturday for the 2-year-olds over 1,300 metres, and I'm going with the Peter and Paul Snowden trained Satin Socks. She's a filly by Medaglia d'Oro. She returned at Kembla over 1,000 metres with a very sharp win, coming from well off the speed to nail them late. The second and the third horse have come out and won at their next starts as well, so a bit of form coming out of that race. She's always been a classy filly. She kicked off her career in the Jim Crack Stakes and finished 6th on that occasion. I think she can sit back off a genuine speed here, and she should be too strong over the 1,300. The main danger is number 3, True Detective, for Chris Waller and Blake Shin. Only been to the races once, recorded a good win at Rose Hill. Both his trials have been spot on, and his last trial was on a heavy track, so not too big a query there. Number 5, Frosty Rocks, a grey colt for Björn Baker. He kicked off his career with a closing third at Canterbury behind Rule the World. Rule the World is looking to start favourite in this race, but I think Frosty Rock, with a 2 kilo swing at the weights and an extra bit of ground, an extra 200 metres, I think he's probably a better pick than Rule the World myself. And number 1, Roman Wolf, goes in for 4th. He led them up probably in the worst part of the track on the Kensington circuit last start and was run down late by a very handy one in Lucicello. My numbers in the first, 6, 3, 5 and 1. Race 2 at Randwick on Saturday. It's the Tab Highway. This week it's a Class 3 over 1,000 metres. I'm looking for some value here with Siege Warfare each way. Number 5, trained by Todd Howlett, Michaela Weir, takes 3 kilos off. And this 4-year-old's been racing in strong races, I think, this campaign compared to what he faces here. His last start was a third behind Sir Elton and Lashes. Sir Elton goes round later on this card as a very short price favourite. Lashes is a handy horse in her own right. He ran a good third there. I think the 1,000 metres will suit, with a solid tempo expected up front, and with the claim, just letting them go, getting the last shot at them. I think he's ready to run a big race at good odds. Number 1, I Am Capitan. I've marked him as the main danger. He's had 3 starts at Randwick for 3 seconds. Seems to handle all sorts of going. Was a good runner-up here behind Gumshoe last start when caught in the last bound. Number 7, Alcatran, was rolled as a $1.85 favourite first up at Bathurst. He'll strip fitter for that. He's got a lovely gait. Jenny Duggan claims he'll get in light. I think he'll run well. And number 8, Nevada Dane, coming through a highway, finished 5th behind Malia Magic at Randwick on a heavy track a couple of weeks ago and was only a length and a half off them. So they're my numbers in this week's highway, 5, 1, 7 and 8. Race 3 at Randwick on Saturday, a 3-year-old benchmark 70 over the 1,100 metres, and I'm with the short-priced favourite here, Sir Elton, really charging through the grades. He's only had the 2 starts for 2 very sharp wins, kicked off his career at Gosford over 1,100, then took that to Wyong over 1,100, where he went straight into a Class 2 and gave nothing else a chance. Now he comes to town on a Saturday, Huey Bowman to do the riding. If you're looking for a negative, he's never raced on anything worse than a soft 5. But that's about the only negative I can find with him. He's got speed to burn. I think he'll cross either lead or sit outside the lead, and he's the horse they've all got to beat. Number 6, Bare Naked Lady. Well, she's been racing in strong races, 6th in the Scone Guineas, behind horses like Wild Planet, Military Zone, only beaten 2 lengths. Then at her last 2 starts, she's a close-up second behind Notation, who has won again since in town, and a close second behind Jack's Bar, beating Home Embracer, who she meets in this race and meets him 3 kilos better for beating him. So I think she's the danger. Number 9, Gimme Shelter, if you're looking for a roughie. I like the way she closed off last start in a heavy track behind Spiritual Pursuit. And number 4, Embracer, even though I think he's fairly badly weighted on his effort 2 starts ago at Warwick Farm, he has won very well at Canterbury since. My numbers in race 3, 8, 6, 9 and 4. Race 4 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 78 over the 1,600 metres, and proven wet tracker Monsieur Sassou certainly gets his chance to break through this campaign. Monsieur Sassou's been knocking on the door, placed at his last 2 starts, ran second behind Quackerjack here on a heavy track over the mile, and then last time out chased home Commander and Tory Joy, when third over a mile on a heavy track. Of course, Tory Joy came out and won impressively last Saturday to frank that form. Monsieur Sassou's had 5 starts on heavy tracks for 3 wins and 2 placings. And from barrier 2, I think Kathy O'Hara can perhaps lead and dictate terms. And under that scenario, he's the horse they've all got to beat. Number 7, I'm Pretty Strong. She's a US mare, now with Chris Waller. I liked her first run in Australia on a heavy track on the Kenzo circuit. Got going late there over 1,400, so the step to a mile makes sense. Number 10, I'm putting in for third, and that is Spectre. He's down in the weights here, will carry 49 kilos after the claim. Some sort of query on the heavy track, but with that weight, race fit horse, I think you could throw him in your multis. And the 4 Costello, it certainly gets through heavy tracks. He's first up over the mile, which is a query, but he's a real athletic campaigner. He went around in a couple of big Group 1s at the end of his last prep, the Rosehill Guineas and Australian Derby, so I'm keen to see what he can do first up. 2, 7, 10 and 4 for me in race 4. Race 5 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 78 over the 2,400 metres, and I like Bobby D here, the horse who went around in the New Zealand Derby. Bobby D ran 6th in the New Zealand Derby behind Crown Prosecutor. Since then he's had a win at Tarapa, he's run 3rd in a Group 2 race at Ellerslie, and since he's come to Australia he ran around in the Group 3 Grand Prix Stakes behind Fun Fact Angel of Heaven. He didn't have a lot go right there, finishing midfield, and then he came to Randwick last start behind Primitivo and Wugok. And I like the way he stuck on to run 3rd after box seating. I think he'll get a lovely run here up on speed, maybe even dictate terms to suit himself under Tim Clark. And I think he's going to run a huge race at close to double figure odds. Number 1, Fanciful Toff, the favourite and big danger. He was very good over this track and distance last start. Sam Clipperton did give him every possible hope from barrier 1. This time he's got Jenny Duggan aboard. He's drawn out. He's obviously been handicapped. So not as easy as last time, but nevertheless he's got the right form on the board. Number 8, Our Candidate. I like the way he attacked the line to win at Wyong on a soft track last start. He was expected to win, but he got the job done very well. And number 4, High Power, did close off well behind Primitivo, Wugok and Bobby D last start. So if I like Bobby D, I've got to put High Power in somewhere. My numbers in the 5th, 3, 1, 8 and 4. Race 6 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 88 over the 1,800 metres. It's also the first leg of the quaddie, and my quaddie numbers can be found at the end of this spiel. In this race, I'm very keen on Wugok for Chris Waller and Blake Shin. Wugok was terrific, I thought, first up off a 9-week break, finishing 2nd here behind Primitivo. That was on a heavy track over 2,000 metres. He just got run down late. Blake Shin jumps aboard. Barrier 2 should give him a lovely run, and he's now been in the money at his past 6 starts, this 5-year-old, and in particular his heavy track stats jump off the page. 4 of his 5 career wins have been on heavy tracks. Number 2, Dr. Drill, he's the main danger, he's the likely favourite. He bolted up last start at Flemington. That was on a soft 5, and that's the first time he's ever seen a soft track. So what he faces here will be a totally different scenario. His pedigree says he'll get through it just fine, and if he does, he'll obviously be extremely hard to beat. But you've always got that little query, and at the short odds, I'm happier to go with Wugok. Number 7, Top Prospect. Well, he handled the heavy track at Randwick well last start, finishing 4th behind Commander and Tory Joy. He was closing off as well as anything late. And number 10, Nahuel for the Freedman stable. I thought his first up effort over 1,400 here on a heavy track behind No Doubt and Charatira was certainly good enough to suggest he would improve. My numbers in race 6, 5, 2, 7 and 10. Good luck if you're playing the quaddie at Randwick on Saturday. I'll be taking a ticket, and these are my quaddie numbers. First leg, 5 and 2. Second leg, 9, 1, 5, 2, 7, 11. Third leg, 12, 8, 9. Final leg, 9, 2, 11, 7 and 3. 180 combinations in that quaddie, so use the tab Flexi betting option to suit your budget, and good luck with your Randwick quaddie on Saturday. Race 7 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 78 over the 1,000 metres. I think this is an open race, so I'm going wide looking for some value with Epic Dan on top. Epic Dan was a last start runner-up here over 1,200 on a heavy 8 track behind Southern Lad. Drew 12 of 13. He was wide the trip. He hit the front turning for home. He was grabbed right on the line. Terrific run. He drops back to 1,000 where he's had 5 career victories. Obviously handles the going. He's drawn better, and I just think the market's got him totally the wrong price. He's big odds, number 9, Epic Dan. The one Latin Boy for the Freedman stable, liked his recent trial. He showed good speed there on a soft track. He went out for a little break after finishing 4th in the Hawkesbury Rush, which is a listed race. He was only beaten a length there, so coming back to a benchmark 78 with the claim here for Chris Williams, I think he's over the odds as well. Number 5, Deity. She's about the right price. She was very good first up, chasing home Spiritual Pursuit and Invictus Salute on a heavy track, so she'll strip fitter for that. She's drawn perfectly. And number 2, Tony Nakoni, will give him one more chance. He failed first up after some lovely trials, but he was posted wide there at Rosehill. He's got barrier 1 this time. My numbers in the 7th, 9, 1, 5 and 2. Race 8 at Randwick on Saturday, a benchmark 78 over the 1,300 metres, and I'm going with the emergency here, Charatira on top. Really like Charatira's last start performance here at Randwick on a heavy track over 1,400. Shot clear at the top of the straight, looked home until No Doubt came out of the pack and managed to nab Charatira right on the line. Charatira's now had 8 career starts, 2 wins, 5 placings, so he's reliable. He maps to get a lovely run just in behind at Genuine Speed, and he's obviously ticked that heavy track box with that effort last start, and I've marked him as the horse to beat. I thought number 8, Condor, was very brave first up at Newcastle, getting through a soft track to win there. His heavy and soft track form's very good. He looks as though he's come back well. I think he's going to run a nice race. Number 9, Lundberg, he's probably going to go the post favourite. He's been hard in the market at 2 runs back. He's been close up on each occasion, so he's knocking on the door. Maps to get a lovely run. Sam Clinton rides. And number 7 goes in for 4th, Bangkok, another mare that rarely misses out around this sort of distance. She's thereabouts all the time and she handles all sorts of going. An open race, race 8, my numbers 12, 8, 9 and 7. Race 9 at Randwick on Saturday. It's for the fillies and mares at benchmark 78 over 1,400 metres, and I'm going with last start winner Misdeed on top here. I think the Snowdens have pulled the right rein using Brock Ryan, who claims 3 kilos. So Misdeed actually dropped 6.5 kilos off her first up win at Canterbury. That was on a soft 7 track over 12.50. Blake Shin gave her a lovely ride. But once clear, she did the work. She motored through the line to win comfortably. It was a strong little midweek race, and she's certainly ready to come to town on a Saturday, carrying only 52 kilos up to the 1,400. Number 2, Notation. She's got to be the big danger. She was a tough last start winner on a heavy 8 here at 1,200 metres. She's stretching out to the 1,400, which was the only slight query I could find, but she did run a very close second at Flemington last campaign at the 1,400. Of course, she's now with the Matt Dale stable after formerly being with the Hayes and Dabening yard. Number 11, Aim for Perfection, a lightly raced filly for Mark Newnham. She won her first 2 starts in great style before getting back and hitting the line hard behind Misdeed at Canterbury last start. She meets Misdeed 3 kilos worse at the weights for getting beaten by her, but she'll appreciate the extra distance and the big track. Whilst number 7, Echo Gem, I think she'll be up on speed, making her own luck, and she certainly gets through soft and heavy tracks. My numbers in race 9, 9, 2, 11 and 7.